Schmoville, well, this is something that we were not expecting. We were saying, maybe, but we can't see it happening. And we got a Spider-Man panel review. Not just a little bit of footage, which we'll talk about and review in a separate video. This is the actual panel that they talked about. They said, oh, guess what? This is one thing that we wanted to mention. Lights go down, boom, Spider-Man, Homecoming, and then Tom Holland or Cody walks out.
It was pretty sweet. He does look a lot like our own Cody Hall. Tom Holland comes out. He clearly was meant to play Spider-Man. And then they bring out the director, John Watts, and they had a little banter back and forth with Kevin Feige, who was on stage, and Chris Hardwick, who was moderating the panel, about what kind of feel this movie's going to have. And they said, look, it's a high school movie, and everything that they did and talked about in this panel reflected that.
They absolutely did, and they talked, because there have been rumors about the John Hughes element, and they said that
name was brought up.
And they brought that up, and they said that's kind of what they wanted to do. And that one of the questions that they had asked, Chris Hardwick had asked, they said there's been versions of Spider-Man before, like what is going to be different about this one? And they said, and what I thought Watts said was great. He was like, look, we know what it's like to be a billionaire superhero.
Right.
We know what it's like to live on another planet. We know what it's like to be the Guardians of the Galaxy. This is the lower tier. This is a kid who's in high school and has to go through all these things. And I thought it was a great way to paint it because it shows what Marvel has done consistently, and that's changed the genre for each film.
Yeah, the echo throughout this panel was that this is the Marvel Universe at its most simplistic, because you're right, it is just about a kid from Queens who happens to be going through some very odd things. They also brought out some of his high school pals that are going to be in the movie. They all came out on stage. Zendaya was in there, and a number of other actors that all seem to be really happy to be in Hall H for the first time. My takeaway from this panel is that they're not going to be in San Diego long, because they literally flew in today, and they're hopping on a plane to go right back and finish shooting the movie. They have been shooting it for a little while, and clearly they have a good rapport on set.
They do, and like we mentioned before, the tone of this movie I think is what stood out the most from what they were talking about. Even when you saw the cast, oh, that's going to be this type of movie, and it's going to have a lot of comedic elements. But I thought something that should be noticed is that Kevin Feige mentioned Amy Pascal, who formerly used to run Sony Pictures, who was actually here. And remember, there was so much to where Sony was losing control, Spider-Man, what happened, and she is essentially responsible, and Kevin Feige gave her that credit in this and said, it is because of Amy. She realized that maybe this is where Spider-Man needed to be, and that's why Spider-Man was here today, and we saw that panel.
It seems like Marvel and Sony are playing nice with each other. It seems like the cast and crew are getting along fantastic, so nothing but good vibes so far for Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah, and if you want to see the trailer review, because they did show a trailer, it was something we weren't expecting to see. Yeah. There's a separate video on that one. Make sure you go and check that out.
And check out Loot Crate. Make sure you guys click the link in this vid's description. You get a new box of really cool stuff every month. If you're a Spider-Man fan, you're going to be a fan of Loot Crate. Trust us.
What's up, Schmoville? Schmoes have invaded Comic-Con. We're in full effect. We're very excited. If you guys want all your guys' information, hey, click on us and subscribe to this channel.
Yeah, if you want more Hall H stuff, click right here. If you want some TV panel coverage, click right here. And if you want more fun shenanigans, click right there.
Do it. It's fun.